Hello Lakers fan, if you are one of those who are always up to date with the news about our Lakers, then you need to stay tuned to what is coming up on our Lakers news channel. I am preparing exclusive coverage on the possible signings of Lakers, and what I can tell you is that rumors are catching fire on social media, and if you don't want to miss any information, stay tuned. We have exclusive news every day. If you are a true Lakers and don't want to be left out of the news, be sure to subscribe. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Let's go to the video.
Lakers GM shares honest thoughts on LeBron James' uncertain future. As the 2025-26 NBA season approaches, so does a moment of reflection for LeBron James, and for the Lakers. Now entering the final year of his contract, the 40-year-old superstar's future beyond this season remains unclear, fueling questions about whether this could be his final run in a Lakers uniform, or in the NBA altogether. Earlier this month, James admitted on the 360 with Speedy podcast that retirement is coming, though he was quick to add, just not yet. It was a rare moment of openness from one of the league's most enduring figures, and a reminder that even LeBron's seemingly ageless career has a timeline. On Thursday, Lakers general manager Rob Pelinka spoke publicly about LeBron's status, striking a respectful and measured tone. While the franchise would love for him to end his career in purple and gold, Pelinka emphasized that any decision about the future belongs entirely to LeBron. The first thing we want to do when it comes to LeBron and his future is give him the absolute respect to choose his own story, with his family on his terms, Pelinka said. He's earned that right. He's the only one who can truly say how many more years he wants to play. Pelinka also made it clear that the front office approached this offseason with intention, knowing time may be running short. The Lakers made significant roster moves, most notably the high-profile addition of Luka Doncic, in an effort to maximize LeBron's window. Once LeBron opted in, we were very purposeful in the way we built the roster, giving him and Luka the tools they need to compete at the highest level, Pelinka explained. As for what's next, the most important thing is that he has the freedom to decide how long he wants to keep going. We'll continue to honor that, and let him speak when the time is right. A legacy nearing its final chapters. As training camp opens next week, James begins his 23rd NBA season, and his 8th with the Lakers. His impact on the franchise is already undeniable: a championship in 2020, a return to relevance after years of struggle, and a level of leadership that continues to define the locker room. Still, no one, not even LeBron, can say with certainty how much longer this run will last. The Lakers, however, are preparing as if this season could be something special. With James and Doncic leading a reloaded roster, expectations are high. The goal, banner no. 18. And a second title for LeBron in LA. But whether this year marks the end of an era or just another chapter remains to be seen. What's clear is that for now, the Lakers are giving LeBron the space, respect, and support he's earned, and waiting patiently to see how the final pages of his legendary career will be written. Inside the organization, preparing for all scenarios. Internally, the Lakers are balancing two parallel realities, trying to win now with LeBron James still on the roster, while quietly beginning to prepare for a post-LeBron era. According to league sources, conversations within the front office have intensified over the past year around succession planning, including how to transition the team's identity once its centerpiece inevitably moves on. Privately, team executives acknowledge that James' presence has shaped every major decision since his arrival in 2018, from coaching hires to free agent targets to style of play. That influence remains strong, but there's a growing sense of urgency. With no guarantee that he'll return after the season, the franchise is walking a careful line between honoring his legacy and protecting its long-term trajectory. Several scouts and league executives have noted that the Lakers' move to acquire Luka Doncic wasn't just about building a contender, it was also about establishing a foundational star for the future. Doncic, now in his prime, is expected to become the face of the franchise whenever LeBron decides to step away, whether that's next summer or further down the line. Still, James' leadership remains irreplaceable. Teammates have described him as more reflective, but no less focused, heading into the new season. According to one veteran on the team, he knows what's at stake, not just for himself but for us. There's a different tone in the room this year. It feels like we're chasing something final. What's driving LeBron now? For James, this season isn't just about adding to his legacy. It's about control, finishing his career on his terms. That includes not being rushed into decisions about retirement, even as questions mount. It also means being present for his son, Bronny James, who is entering his first season in the NBA as a rookie with the Cleveland Cavaliers. The possibility of a future reunion with Bronny remains a topic of interest, especially considering LeBron has publicly stated his desire to share the court with his son before retiring. Whether that scenario materializes remains unclear, but it does further complicate the timeline for any final decision. There's obviously more than basketball in play here, one Western Conference executive told The Ringer. It's legacy, it's family, it's how he wants to go out, not just where, but when and with who. That makes the situation unlike anything we've seen before. League-wide reactions and speculation. Around the NBA, LeBron's looming decision is drawing quiet speculation. Opposing coaches are preparing as if this will be his final full season, but few are willing to say it publicly. Most believe he still has enough left to play another year or two, but only if the situation is right, both personally and competitively. The broader basketball world is also beginning to engage with the idea that one of the greatest careers in NBA history may soon be coming to a close. Media outlets have already begun revisiting key moments, compiling tributes, and debating where LeBron ranks among the all-time greats. Yet despite the outside noise, those closest to James say he remains focused on one thing: winning. He's not thinking about farewell tours, one team source said. He's thinking about one last run at a title. That's where all of his energy is right now. Looking ahead. As the 2025-26 season tips off, LeBron James will once again take the floor as one of the most influential figures the game has ever seen. Whether it's his final year in Los Angeles, or in the NBA altogether, remains entirely up to him. What is certain is that the Lakers and the basketball world at large are entering this season with a shared understanding. This chapter is important, not just for what it could achieve, but for what it could represent, the beginning of the end of an era. And when the time comes for LeBron to make his decision, it won't just be another retirement announcement. It will be the closing statement of a generational story, written carefully, and on his own terms. Jeanie Buss sees a new side of Luka Doncic after Eurobasket journey. This off-season was all about Luka Doncic for the Los Angeles Lakers, and for good reason. The front office made extending his contract the top priority, and by summer's end, Doncic had signed a new 3-year deal that solidified his place at the center of the franchise's future. But it wasn't just the contract that changed things. Doncic spent part of the summer competing in Eurobasket, where he put on a strong performance for Slovenia. The Lakers showed full support, even assigning one of their coaches to the national team staff. But perhaps the most telling moment came from someone at the very top of the organization. Team Governor Jeanie Buss attended the tournament and returned with a striking impression, one that suggests Doncic is not just evolving as a player, but as a leader. He looked comfortable, Buss told The Athletic's Dan Woik. His focus was purely on basketball, instead of being distracted by everything else. He seems lighter, clearer. He knows where he wants to be. And more importantly, he knows where he is now. A clearer mind, a stronger presence. Those may sound like small details, but for a player of Doncic's caliber and pressure, they matter. The adjustment to life in Los Angeles can be heavy, even for stars. But Buss noticed a shift. Doncic appears more grounded, more present, and more committed than ever. This version of Luka, she believes, is ready to take another leap. That's exactly what the Lakers are counting on. With LeBron James approaching the end of his career, the franchise is slowly, but unmistakably, beginning to build around Doncic as the face of the next era. This summer, they didn't just extend him, they included him in key decisions, seeking his input on roster moves during free agency. The expectations are clear. Doncic remains one of the NBA's most gifted offensive players. After being traded to the Lakers late last season, he averaged 28.2 points, 8.1 rebounds, and 7.5 assists per game, strong numbers by any standard. But what the Lakers need now goes beyond stats. They need leadership. They need defensive commitment. They need Doncic to play at an MVP level on both ends of the floor, because their ceiling depends on it. This season, the Lakers' fate hinges on the dynamic between Doncic and LeBron. The two stars will dictate how far this team goes, but Doncic, entering his prime, is expected to carry more of that weight. The front office knows this. The coaching staff knows this. And according to Buss, Doncic himself knows it too. He's starting to own his role in a different way, one team source said. He's not just the guy putting up numbers anymore. He's starting to become the guy everyone looks to. The West is watching. The Western Conference is as competitive as ever, but the Lakers are confident that a focused, fully engaged Doncic can keep them in the mix with the league's elite. Outside of Oklahoma City, no team is viewed as a definitive favorite, meaning LA has a real window if their stars stay healthy and their chemistry holds. Still, much of that hinges on Doncic. He doesn't have to be perfect on defense, but he has to be accountable. And if he plays to his full potential, there's a growing belief inside the building that this team could be the second best in the West, or even better. Jeanie Buss isn't alone in seeing something different in Doncic. What remains to be seen is whether that transformation, mental, emotional, and physical, shows up consistently once the season begins. If it does, the Lakers may be closer to their next championship window than many expected. Leadership taking shape behind the scenes. Behind closed doors, Doncic's growth isn't just being noticed, it's being felt. According to team sources, his presence around the facility this summer has been markedly different. He's been more vocal in film sessions, more hands-on during workouts, and more engaged with younger players during informal runs. He's not just showing up, he's showing leadership, said one Lakers assistant coach. You can see it in the way guys respond to him now. There's a respect building, not just for his talent, but for how seriously he's taking this chapter of his career. That shift matters, especially for a franchise that has long been built on star leadership. With LeBron James entering his 23rd season and gradually stepping into more of a mentorship role, the Lakers need someone to carry the cultural torch. Doncic, despite still being in his mid-20s, appears to be accepting that responsibility. And for Jeanie Buss and the front office, that evolution couldn't come at a better time. Strategic planning for a post-LeBron era. While LeBron's presence still defines much of the team's identity, the organization is already laying the foundation for what comes next. The decision to invest fully in Doncic wasn't just about talent, it was about stability. He's not just seen as a franchise player. He's now the franchise. We're building with a long view in mind, a senior team official said. That means building a team and a culture that can outlast one player, even one as great as LeBron. Luka is at the center of that vision. Part of that vision includes giving Doncic more influence over basketball operations, a rare move for a player so early in his Lakers tenure. He was consulted on potential free agent targets this offseason and has started to shape the team's playing style, particularly on offense, where the system is shifting to better suit his strengths. But there's another side to that responsibility: expectations, accountability, and the defensive challenge. While Doncic's offensive brilliance is undeniable, the Lakers coaching staff is quietly emphasizing defense as the key to unlocking the team's full potential. In team meetings, Doncic has been challenged directly to commit more on that end, not just by coaches, but by veterans like Anthony Davis and LeBron himself. We don't need him to be an all-defensive guy, said one team insider, but we do need effort, consistency, and communication, especially when the games get tough. If he buys in defensively, this team becomes a real problem in the West. The early signs have been promising. Doncic has come into training camp in better shape than at any point in the last 3 seasons, and his defensive focus during Eurobasket didn't go unnoticed by the Lakers staff. How the league is reacting. Around the NBA, rival teams are watching Doncic's progression closely. Some executives view this season as a potential breakout not just statistically, but in terms of overall impact and leadership. There's growing belief that he may finally be ready to take the leap from superstar to franchise anchor in the truest sense. He's been incredible for years, one Western Conference GM said. But if what we're hearing out of LA is accurate, that he's maturing, becoming a locker room leader, showing up defensively, then we all have to take them seriously. A new era quietly beginning. For now, there's no public declaration that this is Doncic's team. LeBron still commands the spotlight, and rightfully so. But within the organization, there's an understanding that a transition is already underway, one that feels natural, earned, and necessary. And if Luka Doncic continues down this path, more focused, more vocal, more complete, that transition may not just reshape the Lakers. It may reshape the balance of power in the Western Conference for years to come. Rob Pelinka announces contract extension for J.J. Redick, cementing him as Lakers' long-term leader. When J.J. Redick was named head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers ahead of last season, the biggest question wasn't about his basketball IQ, that had never been in doubt. It was whether a first-time coach, with no prior experience at any level, could handle the pressure of leading one of the NBA's most storied and scrutinized franchises. One season in, Redick has more than answered that question. Despite facing a series of early season injuries and a major mid-season trade that completely reshaped the roster, including the blockbuster acquisition of Luka Doncic, Redick guided the Lakers to a third-place finish in a stacked Western Conference. His calm leadership, adaptability, and ability to quickly earn the respect of a veteran locker room didn't go unnoticed. Now the Lakers are making it official. Redick is their coach for the future. General Manager Rob Pelinka announced during a recent press conference that the organization has extended Redick's contract, solidifying him as the face of the team's basketball leadership moving forward. "We recently extended JJ's contract just to make it crystal clear. He is the leader of our basketball program on the court and in terms of culture," Pelinka said. It might seem like a bold move after just one season, but for those who've seen Redick behind the scenes, the decision makes sense. The challenges he faced in year one would have tested even the most seasoned coaches, yet he met them with poise, clarity, and a sharp basketball mind. "It comes down to trust and belief," Pelinka continued. "We believe JJ is a special coach with a unique voice, someone who is helping us define and build upon the Lakers' standard of excellence. We wanted to send a clear message, to him, to our players, and to the entire organization, that we are fully committed to this direction." The timing of the extension also reflects a desire for stability, something the Lakers haven't had much of in recent years when it comes to coaching. Redick is the team's sixth head coach since 2016. Now, the front office is signaling that the revolving door is finally closed. With a full off-season and training camp under his belt, expectations for Redick, and for the Lakers, will only grow. The roster has evolved dramatically, with Marcus Smart joining the backcourt and the team doubling down on two-way depth. But what hasn't changed is Redick's voice in the locker room, which players continue to praise. Marcus Smart on JJ Redick. He sees the game differently. New Lakers guard Marcus Smart, who competed against Redick during his playing days, offered high praise for his coach, and believes people still underestimate Redick's basketball intellect. JJ doesn't get enough credit for how smart he is, Smart said. Even when he was a player, you could tell he saw the game differently. And now as a coach, that vision is even sharper. He makes adjustments fast, he communicates clearly, and you know he's thinking 2 steps ahead. Smart's comments echo what many inside the organization have been saying privately. Redick's strength isn't just X's and O's, it's his ability to connect. With players. With staff. With the moment. A shift in culture and a long-term vision. What the Lakers are building isn't just about talent on the floor, it's about continuity and identity. For years, the franchise has operated in short windows, chasing results in the present without fully laying the groundwork for the future. Extending Redick signals a shift in that philosophy. "Having a long-term plan helps us build a real foundation," Pelinka said. "We're not just thinking about next season, we're thinking 5, 10 years down the line." That kind of vision is rare in today's NBA, especially for a team that is always under the spotlight. But with Redick at the helm, and a front office that finally seems aligned with its coaching staff, the Lakers are positioning themselves for something they haven't had in a while: sustained direction. Whether that turns into championships remains to be seen. But what's clear now is that the Lakers believe they've found their guy, and they're not letting him go anytime soon. Players buying in, and the culture shift Redick is leading. Perhaps the most encouraging sign for the Lakers isn't just the extension itself, but the growing sense of trust Redick has built with the locker room, something that was never guaranteed for a first-time head coach stepping into a championship-aspiring franchise. Veteran players have embraced his approach, and younger guys have responded to his ability to simplify the game and empower them with clarity and confidence. Sources close to the team say Redick has emphasized communication and accountability, both upward and downward, creating an environment where players feel heard, but also held to high standards. "We know where we stand every day," said one player who asked not to be named. "JJ's not just giving orders, he's teaching, listening, challenging us. That matters." That tone stands in contrast to previous regimes that struggled with consistency, both in system and in leadership style. Under Redick, there's a growing sense of stability, something the Lakers have sorely needed over the past decade, despite intermittent success. From broadcast booth to bench, and now, long-term trust. JJ Redick's path to the sidelines was unconventional. Just a few years ago, he was still suiting up in the league. Then he quickly emerged as a sharp analyst in the media space, one known for his deep understanding of the game, his ability to break down strategy, and his strong, candid communication style. That background, some initially feared, might work against him when it came time to manage egos, rotations, and in-game pressure. But instead, it's proven to be a unique asset. Redick's experience as both a player and analyst gave him a fresh perspective, one that blends modern analytics with a real feel for rhythm, energy, and execution. His players, especially veterans like Anthony Davis and Marcus Smart, respect that balance. And now, with Pelinka's public backing and a contract extension to match, Redick has the runway he needs to shape the program in his vision, something no Lakers head coach has truly had since Phil Jackson. Media reaction and league-wide attention. Redick's extension has already sparked conversation across the NBA landscape. National analysts praised the Lakers for making a decisive and forward-thinking move, with several noting that this kind of early commitment could become more common for franchises trying to build sustainable cultures. At the same time, there are critics. Some in league circles wonder if the Lakers moved too quickly. After all, one successful season, however impressive, is still a small sample size. But those concerns seem to be outweighed by what the organization sees every day in practice, meetings, and game film. The results speak for themselves, said one Western Conference executive. He had every reason to falter under pressure. He didn't. That tells you something. A foundation for what's next. Looking ahead, Redick's challenge will be to build on year one, not just in terms of wins, but in developing a system and culture that can carry the Lakers through a new era. The pressure will remain. This is Los Angeles, after all, a city and a franchise with no patience for mediocrity. But for the first time in years, the Lakers seem to be leaning into something long-term, not chasing the next quick fix, but giving their coach the time and trust to build something bigger. The extension isn't just a reward, it's a statement. And for JJ Redick, it's the clearest sign yet that this isn't just a coaching stop, it's his team to lead.